If you're an experienced pool player and you just can't get over that hump between good and great, I know what you're doing wrong, and I'm going to do my best in this video to try to convey this to you. It's really, this video is geared toward good players with potential to be great, but they're losing their minds trying to figure out, what's going wrong and how come they can't get there. Get to this point because they just figure, well, I just don't have it in me, and I just find that incredibly sad, because there's a lot of players who quit never realizing that they were just one step away from hitting the big time and just becoming, nearly unbeatable players. I know that there's, over the years, there's probably millions who just quit one step too soon. And, once you're a pool player, you're always a pool player. By quitting, I just mean, giving up the dream. And I don't think there's anything more sad in life than doing everything that you know how to do to obtain your dream and then just giving up on yourself. It's just incredibly sad. So I'm going to try to stop you from being a statistic. Just hear me out, and hopefully this video does what I'm setting it out to do. It's in the way that you're thinking. So, in an example of 9-ball, which we're about to see in this video, you're not getting what the table's telling you to do. You're doing it your way, and that's where you're screwing it up. Most 9-ball players started out playing 8-ball, and so they play years and years of 8-ball, and they say, well, I'm going to try 9-ball and see, this is the game that the pros are playing, so let's take it up a notch and let's play some 9-ball. But they're still using the same mental habits that they learned in 8-ball, and they transferred it over to 9-ball, and you just can't do that. It's two completely different games that call for two completely different ways of thinking about things. Where in 8-ball you can be a little more creative because you have a lot more choices on what to do, so you're taking that kind of freedom that you learn in 8-ball, you're doing it your way in 8-ball, and then you go over to 9-ball and you're still trying to do it your way, and you can't. And the layout of the table tells you what to do. You can either do it or you can't do it. Your job is to figure out what the table is trying to tell you to do. Not what you want to create out of this. You can't do it your way anymore. You have to do it the way the table's telling you to do it. And that way is simple. So you're taking something simple and you're bringing in all these bullshit thoughts in your head to do it your way, and you can't do it your way. You have to do what the table's telling you to do. And this is where we go wrong. We insist on, creating our own way to do it. And the table knows 1 billion times better than you know how to do it. You just have to kind of take the hint and do it the table's way. I've been to too many tournaments where the top 6 or 8 players are they've just mastered the art of doing what the table wants them to do. So there's one in particular, it was a bar table tournament, and they didn't have the 3 balls over the head string rules. Everybody was breaking soft, and it was winter break, and it was race 11, and the top probably 12 players were just going like 11 and out, 11 and out, 11, just putting 11 packs on their opponents. So if they won the leg, they were going to win the match. And it just got, and like not so informed people will watch this, and after 2 racks, it's like, wow, they made that look easy. And they're actually missing the point of what these players are doing. It was easy. They have just mastered the art of keeping it easy when the mistake that you're making is taking something easy and making it difficult by insisting on doing things your way. And that's where you're running into trouble. You're doing things the difficult way, and you find yourself in bad position, and now you have to come up, with something crazy just in an attempt to get the cue ball near the place where you need to be, and you've lost control over the art of keeping it simple. There's no terminology here to use to explain this better. But I guess that's what videos are all about, things that words can't say. Let's get on. Here's the table layout, and here's the cue ball. And from here, it's all about how you think and what your decisions are. You can make hard decisions, you can make easy decisions. I'm going to show you the easiest decisions ever in the game of pool, and this is going to determine if you take your game up to the next level or if you keep doing things the hard way. Let's look at the lines. If you're not used to seeing these lines before you ever shoot the first ball, I can promise you it's going to get easier. And I can also promise you that it's imperative that you see this and understand this. This is the second step in taking your game to the next level. And this is because great pool is determined by where you need to be relative to those lines and what side of those lines you need to be on. Or if you want to be straight on that line. I can tell you now, it's not about the distance between the cue ball and the object ball. It's about the angle you have from the cue ball to the object ball. That's going to determine whether or not you can get on the next 3 or 4 balls. And now we're going to go very quickly through this rack on the graphics, and then after that we're going to slow down and I'm going to explain this to you step by step. Did you catch any of that? It was kind of quick, so let's slow it down a little bit. And what you need to do during this process, and every single time you pick up a pool cue, is to train your brain to see these lines and to think like this. It's hard to tell, but we have a slight angle on this 1 ball, and we can punch it out for a shot on this 2 ball, but you need to stay on the left-hand side of that 2 ball, and that's as if you're shooting a 2 ball. If you're right behind the 2 ball shooting it, we need to stay on the left-hand side of that line, and with a pretty good angle, because we're pulling it out and punching it out again. It's called a stun shot, back out for the right shot on this 3 ball. But before we get to the 3, let's go to another graphic. So we're now shooting a 2-ball, and it's the same exact concept. What side of this line do you want to be on? And we want to be on the right-hand side of that 3-ball line. If we get on the left-hand side, we're going to be in serious trouble while trying to get on the 4-ball. You're not going to be able to get a good shot, and you're going to be going in through traffic, and that's a great example of how players make something simple and into something damn near impossible. And this is what we constantly do. Now, getting on this 3-ball, there's other ways to get yourself in trouble, even when you are on the right side of this line. I know players that would shoot this 3 in the side and try to roll up to hit this right-hand side rail and bounce off for perfect position on the 4-ball in an effort to get a foot away from the 4-ball when it's absolutely not necessary. The distance between the cue ball and the object ball is almost irrelevant. It doesn't matter. As long as you have the right angle on the shot, you can run this rec. So all you really need is any kind of angle on the 4-ball, and this is the best angle and the easiest way to get on this 4 to have a rail to bounce off of to get back up table on this 5-ball. And here we are on the 4-ball shot, and this illustrates another shot where players just try to get perfect and try to get right up under that 5-ball so they can bounce off this rail and get back for straight-in shot on the 6-ball. And what happens is a lot of times they go way too long, and now they have an impossible cut on the 5, but they have to try it, so they cut it loose. And then they bang into the balls down table, and they get themselves snookered and impossible to get on the 6-ball. The best way to do this is just shoot for center table. And I don't mean exact center table, I mean the right side of the center of the table. Anywhere around there, and you'll be great on the 5 to get back on this 6. This might be the trickiest shot in this rack here. We're shooting with bottom left, and we're pulling it 2 rails. Again, we need that top rail to get back on shape for the 6. We're not using the left-hand side rail, we're using the right-hand side rail. And although it looks like I play into the line to be perfect, I'm not playing into the line to be perfect. The last thing you want to do here is go over that line to the right-hand side of that 6-ball line. It is much, much better to come up short and on the left-hand side of that 6-ball than it is to come up on the right-hand side. Because when you shoot the 6, you're going to be moving away from the 7-ball, and then you're probably going to have to go 3 rails back on the 7, and then you'll be crossing the line and things will get hairy. So any advanced player has already seen from the 6 to the 7 to the 8 to the 9 is almost a stop shot out and pretty gravy. I mean, there's not much to it if you're already looking ahead, but we'll get to it when we get to it. I gave myself the luxury of getting straight in on 6, and this is just a stop shot from here, but I really recommend playing it safe and staying on the left-hand side of that 6 and coming up short of straight in. And all you got to do is play a stun shot from the 6 to get to the 7, as long as you're not too far away. And from there, it's not exactly a stop shot on the 7, although it looks like it is. We need a little bit of an angle on this 8. I mean, we could just hit a stop shot on the 8 and just get straight in, and then, just take the cut shot on the 9. But yeah, I mean, you've come this far, so you should go a little bit longer than, a little bit to the right-hand side of the 8. So yeah, I mean, you might as well get straight in on the 9 if you can. And you'll see when you watch the video that I went a little bit long and didn't hit an exact stop shot on the 6. And that gave me a little bit of a screwy angle. Not really. I mean, it's like trivial nonsense, and it's still easy stuff to get right on the 8 and 9. So instead of a stop shot on the 7, we're playing a bit of a stun shot and just, going a little bit higher, and but still staying on the right-hand side of that 8-ball line. And here's what we have on the 8. I got a little bit straighter in than I wanted to. But it's okay. I'm just going to pull back a couple inches and get the right shot on the 9 for a little bit of a cut, but it ain't no big deal. And here's what we have on the 9, and you know what to do from here, Scooby. Let's go ahead and watch this game from start to the finish. The hair bottom here, and remember, you don't want to cross to the right-hand side of the 2-ball line. And this 2-ball shot is the same shot as a 1-ball. A little bit of bottom, and you're just stunning out. Remember, you don't want to pass to the left-hand side of the 3-ball line. And here on this 3-ball, you're just shooting to get between the 7 and 8. Your biggest problem is that 7 ball getting in the game, so you got to get past that just to have the right angle to get back to center table for that 5-ball shot, and the right angle on the 5 to get back to the 6. And so here we are. Again, people go too long on that, and they get on the left-hand side of the 5, and they find themselves against the rail with a really difficult shot on the 5. So I'm going 2 rails here for the fanciest shot in this game. And just spinning it with a little bit of bottom and a little bit of left. I played into the line, but again, I don't recommend doing that. And this is just a stun shot that I went a little bit, it kept rolling on me, so I just didn't hit it real good, and that's because I was jacked up on the rail. But you could see me checking that 7-ball line before I shot them. So yeah, I went a little bit long, but now I'm just going to stun it out for the same line, just a little bit of a longer shot on the 8. And I pulled it back a little bit too much, and I wound up getting almost straight in. I'm a little bit to the right of the line, but only about a half a ball. So, I mean, I can't get straight in on the 9. So I just pulled it back a couple inches, and it's still a simple cut shot. No big deal. And that's how you play 9-ball, and that's how you keep it simple. It's all about how you think. Peace, everybody. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.